Hello to my Scorpio family. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing great. Today we're going to talk about the jealousy of Scorpio. I'm sorry, but it does happen from time to time that a Scorpion can become jealous. So, number one, where does it come from? Number two, what do we do with it? Three, how do we get the best out of the jealousy? Because there's a way to do that. Remember the rule. Wherever we have a weakness, our strength is in the same place. So, let's talk about it. So, what is this? First off, what's the principle of jealousy? Where does jealousy emanate from? In general, for anybody, not just Scorpios. One thing, basically, insecurity. So, what is insecurity? It's a lack that I feel within myself, and I may look around and see someone else has something I don't have. I want that. Why don't I have the same thing? It can go sometimes even to a deeper level of, and not in a positive way, is not only I don't have it, but you shouldn't have it either. Okay? Because I don't. All right. I don't know that we want to explore that too much because that bridges over into a really negative area. We can probably touch on it. So, okay, how does this relate to Scorpio? And we actually have a biblical source, which is Rachel. Now, I think we mentioned in past videos, Rachel, the matriarch, was a Scorpion, okay? She was a Scorpio. She was, in fact, a chariot because the biblical characters, specifically the matriarchs, the patriarchs and the matriarchs, were very specific spiritual chariots, as they are called, for particular energies. Now, there's a reason why all of the matriarchs and patriarchs, with the exception of Rachel the matriarch, are buried in Bethlehem, in the cave of Machpelah. That's what it's called. Abraham bought this cave from Ephron the Hittite. In the Bible story, you can read the story if you want to know the whole story. He paid 400 shekels for it, which is a code of how to remove negativity. But in any case, that's where they're all buried, including also Adam and Eve are also buried in that place. Okay, Rachel? No, she's not there. She's kind of on the side of the road, which of course today is a great monument in Israel, in Bethlehem, but at that time it was again sort of on the side of the road in Bethlehem. Why? There are different things written about it, but Rachel is a chariot for mercy, okay? The energy of mercy and compassion. So it says that Rachel is on the outside, because she is crying for her children, and her tears bring about mercy, cosmic mercy. Okay, we're not going into that right now. But from where do we understand? Number one, she was a Scorpio, born and passed in the same day as many righteous souls do, on the 11th day of lunar Scorpio, Cheshvan, the month of Cheshvan, by the Hebrew date. And again, the English date, that would float, okay? Because it can be, even 6 weeks different than the English or Gregorian calendar. It's the same 7 times in 19 years, the same date. Whatever that date was at that time, biblical time. But anyway, that's not important. Point is, it's the 11th day of lunar Scorpio, the month of Scorpio in Hebrew. Now we know Rachel had a hard time, specifically in childbirthing, while her sister seemed to have a much easier time. So the majority of the children that came from Rachel's side, so to speak, because again, remember, it was Rachel and her twin sister Leah. So Leah could bear children. Rachel couldn't bear children initially, and then eventually she bore 2 children, Joseph and Benjamin. Okay, those were the children that came directly from Rachel, and besides her handmaidens. And of course, altogether between Rachel and Leah, there were 12 sons, and these are the 12 sons or 12 tribes of Israel. They represent the heads of the tribes, and the heads of the tribes, according to Abraham the patriarch, of course, represent what? The vehicles by which we elevate above the constellation. So, meanwhile, in the story, and I'm going to chapter 30 in Genesis, verse 1. I'm reading it in the Hebrew because there's a connection there. ותרא רחל כי לא ילדה ליעקב ותקנא רחל באחותה ותאמר אל יעקב הבה לי בנים ואם אין מתה אנוכי. Rachel realized, or she saw, that she wasn't having any children. And she was jealous. She was jealous of her sister. And she said to Jacob, give me children or I'll die. And at this point in verse 2, it says that Jacob became furious with Rachel because, basically he said, am I God? Am I God? Do I decide to keep children from you or not? Anyway, we won't go into the whole story. That's not our focus. Rachel was a chariot, so we have to understand this. Now, all the stories biblically, according to the Kabbalah, are codes. Okay? We say this all the time. I just wanted us to remember this. Bible stories are not meant to be taken literally. They are codes to help us understand energetic forces. The Zohar helps decodify the Bible. We said that Rachel was a chariot, and she was a chariot for many things. Mercy and compassion was one, bringing mercy into judgment. So she had this force of mercy within her to a very large degree. Then how can it say that she was jealous of her sister? Because jealousy is the seed of something called evil eye. Okay? Evil eye. Now, evil eye is an actual force. It's a metaphysical, it's an energetic force that comes from lack. It comes from lack. It's the lack that I feel at not having whatever, something that I want, and I see someone else who has it. I envy, which means my lack now becomes activated, and I send that message energetically through the eyes of the windows of the soul. We understand the eyes through the Kabbalah are the level of wisdom, chokhmah. Remember we said Scorpio has the energy of wisdom? Okay, so think about that. Scorpio has a very powerful force because remember the word AKRAV, which means Scorpio, have the letters Ayin and Bet at the end of the word. So we'll put it on the screen. Ayin and Bet. Ayin and Bet are 72 numerically in Gematria. 72 is a code for the level of Chokhmah, wisdom. Now, that is a very high level of consciousness. And if you've seen the video Fire and Ice and other places where I talk about the empty, the hole that a Scorpio can feel, the hole, the empty. It's an empty place where I feel no light. Oh, it's death. No light here. There's no light right now. For whatever reason that is triggered, it's awakened. Now, when that is coupled with the feeling of jealousy, other people, what they have, this, what you have, and so on and so forth, it can awaken a great force of judgment, as it did by Rachel the Matriarch, because she was jealous of her sister. His sister had children. She couldn't bear children initially, and she did become jealous. But Rachel was a chariot. Now, if we were a chariot like Rachel, what would we do? A chariot means they corrected. They corrected. There was a challenge. Now it's become corrected. Meaning they overcame the karmic challenge, not for themselves only. Yes, also for themselves. But the difficulty was so strong it creates an impact cosmically. Now, we can see this in small ways. Maybe there's a scientific discovery on one side of the world, and then all of a sudden, the other side of the world, other people, they're discovering the same things. Why? Because the effort, the breakthrough over here enables the breakthrough to happen more easily someplace else among other people. There's a parable about that among the Kabbalists, and it's basically goes like this. There was a town that had no water, and the only water supply was up atop a big mountain. Now, the people of this town are weak and short. They're not able to climb the mountain to fetch water. So there once came to town was a tall and strong stranger. And what did he do? He went up the mountain, and on the way up the mountain, he cut a path. And after the stranger left town, it became very easy for everyone in the town to fetch water. Okay, so what's the moral of the story? When we do a difficult spiritual task, let's call it, when we overcome a great difficulty, we cut a path for other people energetically to be able to tap in easier. Now, this leads into the principle, which I'm sure most of us have heard. If you're on the Scorpio channel, I'm sure you understand the principle of critical mass, affecting the energy of other people by the difficulty that we overcome. The Kabbalists explain, it's like sesame seeds. You know, sesame seed doesn't weigh very much, but eventually the last sesame seed throws the scale, throws the balance in a positive favor. Again, by those who are doing spiritual work, overcoming, working on themselves truly spiritually. This is what a chariot. This is the definition of a chariot. So Rachel, the matriarch, when it says she was jealous, and we know this again from other writings, that what she did in that moment was create a pathway to overcome jealousy, overcome specifically the evil eye. Again, energy which is sent out through the eyes when I feel a lack. When I'm feeling a lack in my life, for whatever reason, and I look at others and I kind of, I don't know if there's a better way to say it, shoot them this energy. We don't want to do that because there are ramifications and consequences. If we look at someone with jealousy, not only jealousy, but even, if we're really upset, we wish that they wouldn't have it. Well, remember, it's a boomerang, and what goes around comes around. We don't want that. What should we do? What should the Scorpio do? So, remember we said that in every weakness there's a strength. In the strength there's weakness, but in every weakness there's a strength, okay? There's something called the jealousy of the scribes. What does that mean? Jealousy of the scribes. What is that? It's a holy jealousy, okay? What does that look like? I see something someone has, something I want, I don't have it. What should be the immediate thought, intention, consciousness in that moment? And a Scorpion can do it better than anybody because a Scorpion has the Ayin Bet, the 72, the energy of wisdom, which is, I'm the creator. I'm not is the creator ever in a state of lack? So, again, I see something, I feel I lack. Immediately, I awaken the creator force within me. I counteract the hole, the lack that I feel. And what is my consciousness? Two things. Number one, I bless them. I send my powerful Scorpio energy. I send it to them that they should have more. I don't care what my relationship is with them. I don't care how I feel personally about them. I bless them with more, with abundance, with health, with everything that they could possibly need. And especially more of what I'm envious of. Number one. Number two consciousness is simply, the moment I perceive that lack, I say, I feel, I awaken. If they have it and they can do it, and I'm aware of it, it's brought to my attention because they're in my face, it means it's also on its way to me. You know why? Because it is. There's never a reason why the universe will put something in our face that we want, that we don't have. It's not to torture us. Never. But it's kind of the spiritual test. It's the spiritual challenge because there is a principle of earning, which we will get into in the crash course. Again, crash course is coming up. 21st of January, that's the date. Looks pretty definite. So if you want more information, email info@rabbieabe.com. Put crash course in the subject line, okay? And we will email you the registration link for the course if you're interested to join me. The moment you awaken that, the moment you overcome it and you say, wait a second, they have it, I'm happy, as though it was me. I'm happy for them as though it was me experiencing, as though I had it. Because in the reality world, we are all part of one organism. You have to really internalize this. We have to know we're not really separate entities. On a soul level, we are all bound together energetically. So if I'm happy for them, who am I really happy for? I am also happy for me. And we draw down the blessing of exactly what we need. If it's that, if it's something like that, in that moment. But you have to be very careful. What's the trap? Oh no, the trap is going into a state of lack, connecting with my lack. So there's a freedom of will, there's freedom of choice, as there is always, because we must have freedom of choice. That's the challenge. The earning comes when I overcome that dark part, and I earn all the blessings at that moment that I overcome myself. I overcome that dark point in me, as Rachel the Matriarch did. If you want to connect with Rachel the Matriarch, that can only help. By the way, that's why you'll notice some of you ask, this red string is a symbol or energetic support against the evil eye. Where does it come from? Rachel's tomb in Israel. There's a group over there. There are many groups that do this, that bind, they sounds kind of morbid, but if you're a Scorpio, you'll appreciate this. They tie a huge ball of yarn around the tomb to absorb that blessing, that compassion energy. Because again, when I look at someone with a not a good intention, this is the energy of judgment. But this was not Rachel the Matriarch, full of compassion and mercy and love. Yes, that transformed. We cannot judge and love at the same time. We have to remember that. So again, what do? Again, two things. Number one, again, immediately awaken the power of wisdom that I have and say, no, they should be blessed with everything they need, more abundance, and especially more of what I envy. Number two, if they have achieved whatever, I absolutely can do it too. I just need to put the effort in. And I am so happy for them. Awaken it. Fake it till you make it. My happiness will draw closely because, again, I can only smell it from them because it is energetically close to me. But there's something I need to do to earn it. And that's what it is. So that's what I have for you. If you have questions or comments about this as a principle, please put it in the comments section, as you generally do on YouTube. And I'm sending love to everyone here on the channel. And thank you very much for being a participant in my Scorpio channel. And I will see you very soon in the next video. All the best, guys. All the best.